Blockbuster move sending Anthony Davis to Dallas, Luka Doncic to L.A. Luka and LeBron went on a tear. They were as high as the second seed in a crowded West and made believers that this new-look squad could go all the way. Then Ant-Man showed up, and he had other plans, knocking out L.A. in 5. In this series, the Lakers were minus 29 with Luka and LeBron and on the floor together, which was the 6th worst two-man lineup. When you add in Austin Reeves, the Lakers were minus 24 with all 3 players on the court after being plus 2 together in the regular season. Here's LeBron on the trade and now early exit.
Anytime you make an acquisition or a big acquisition in the middle of the season, it's always going to be challenging. And not only for me, but for AR and for the rest of the group. There were times where we, obviously didn't look so well, a couple games early on. But I think we kind of figured it out, kind of later in the season. The more and more games we had, I still don't think we had enough time to mesh, but for the time that we had, I thought we ended the regular season very well to, be top 3 in the West.
All right, I promised you I'd be crewed up this morning, bringing in Damian Woody and, of course, the first take enforcer from the wine cellar, the Godfather.
Whoa. That is the Godfather.
Whoa. Godfather, I need some counsel.
Hold up. You know, when we do NBA Countdown, that's prime time. The brother never has on a tie. Ever. You understand? But now, at 10 o'clock in the morning, here he is with a suit and tie on now, instead of in prime time. What's up with that? Ain't that a little bit backwards? Then again, it's not, because it's standing on first take. I understand.
Well, actually, I was saving it, and I didn't know who anointed you as the fashion police. You know what I mean? Like,
I did.
I feel like
I did.
I feel like because you're not caught up on 2025 in the mock necks and the turtlenecks with the little jewelry. Don't shoot no shade this way. Them suits fly.
I'm a shut Perk down right now. It's bad enough he's big as hell. Do you know that brother wore a turtleneck in 83-degree weather?
I'm the wrong one to talk about turtlenecks. I support your turtleneck game, Perk. I support your turtleneck game.
Hey, like I told you in the studio, it ain't for you to like.
Yeah, he's at home. His wife picked it out. Playoff Perk showing up. All right, and I'm here for it. Lunch is going to be ready. All right, Perk, tell me this. I heard you got a hot take on JJ. Tell us that.
Well, it's not a hot take, Molly. It's a real take. Okay. He's the reason that the Lakers lost this series. Oh. Now, look, what's the problem?
I don't agree with that.
Did J.J. Redick make any adjustments in this series to adjust to the Minnesota Timberwolves?
No.
To the size, the athleticism, the length? No, absolutely not. He was stuck in his ways and harped on playing this small ball lineup and leaving LeBron James, 40-year-old senior citizen, at the 5 position to battle with Rudy, Julius Randle, Naz Reid, and Jayden McDaniels. And all of a sudden, we saw LeBron James get tired, exhausted in the 4th quarter when he couldn't give you nothing offensively. So again, when I look at what JJ did defensively, the 2-3 zone, the trapping of Anthony Edwards, he started the series off doing that. It didn't work. Anthony Edwards had it all figured out. At what point are you, as the head coach, are you going to make adjustments, especially when you're down in the series, but instead you're trying to prove to the rest of the world that your way is going to work, and it didn't. You tried to pick on Rudy Gobert. You tried to pick on him in the pick and roll. That didn't work. The opponent shot 28% from the field when Rudy was the primary defender. So, Stephen A., y'all tell me, what adjustments did J.J. Redick make in this series?
I already conceded that he did it.
To put their team in position to be successful.
I already conceded that he did it, but I believe it's because he didn't have any way to adjust. The fact of the matter is, look at their personnel, which you've lamented repeatedly. A matter of fact, I recall you bringing up Rob Pelinka's name, as did I, in terms of the Mark Williams trade that didn't happen, the fact that you were devoid of a big, the fact that you're going up against Minnesota, and this was just a bad matchup for the Los Angeles Lakers all around, and we all should have seen it, but we didn't. They picked him up 94 feet. They said LeBron is 40. We're going to pick him up. They said Luka Doncic is out of shape. We're going to pick him up. Who else are you going to give the ball to? Dorian Finney-Smith? Rui Hachimura, Austin Reeves, who, by the way, kind of nosedived in this series when he was an elite third option. You're seeing things disintegrate before your very eyes. And you didn't see anybody with the capabilities of stepping up. So I just think it's one of those situations where you're a lack of personnel. That's how I view it, Jay.
Per, can I ask you a question? Because I'm a big believer in this.
Absolutely.
If you're saying there were no adjustments, what adjustments would you have made?
Well, first I would have started the game off. I would have started the game 5 with Jared Vanderbilt, a 6'9", 6'10", high motor guy that could get into Anthony Edwards and touch him up a little bit.
He did play 20 minutes.
Yeah, he played 20 minutes, and guess what? Anthony Edwards had the worst game of the series, 5 for 19 from the field.
Okay.
So maybe if you would have played a little bit more in the second half of game 4, Anthony Edwards wouldn't have went off for 45.
But still, that was a one-possession game, though, right?
Well, yeah, but what does that mean? They lost.
So, but like what I'm trying to tell you is I don't think there were any definitive moves that somebody realistically could say, you should have done this, that you know for a fact would have translated towards success when they were already undermanned in all the ways Stephen A. just spoke about.
How were they undermanned, Jay? Tell me how they were undermanned.
From a lack of size and physicality and athletic wing pressure on the defensively. Like these are, by the way, AR-15 did not play well. AR-15, we talked about being the third best option in the league, averaged 12 points in this series, wasn't shooting the ball well. They were missing shots from the outside. Guys are getting blown by defensively. All I'm saying is if you look down the bench and you're saying, hey, I'm going to play, and with Jared Vanderbilt playing more minutes comes lack thereof offense that you need and spacing on the court. So I think there were a lot of adjustments, micro adjustments that were made. I just don't think any adjustment with the personnel would have led to them having definitive better chances of winning this series.
Damian, before you jump in on this, because you guys keep bringing up the bigs, LeBron addressed this. Obviously, they got rid of AD. I want to play that sound for you real quick.
No comment. I'll never say that because my guy AD said what he needed, and then he was gone the following week. So I got no comment. I put that uniform on every night. I gave everything I had, and that's all that matters.
Well, listen, were there things that JJ could have done to help this team out? Yeah. I mean, you can't listen. At the end of the day, you can't have 40-year-old LeBron. You can't run 40-year-old LeBron James in the ground. You know, you talk about Game 4, the whole second half, particularly in the fourth quarter, where he's playing all those minutes. You got to find a way to try to give him something there. But ultimately, it comes back to personnel. Minnesota is a bigger, deeper, more athletic team than the Los Angeles Lakers. And the bottom line is we're slow on the perimeter. We don't have the size. Okay, and Minnesota is battle-tested. Look at last year. Look what they did with Denver last year, the defending champions. That's the same team that came in here and wiped the floor with the Lakers this year. So for me, when I'm thinking about the Lakers, I always think about we lost to the Minnesota Timberwolves, but we got to start spinning this thing forward. How do we put ourselves in championship contention moving forward?
Stephen A., you respond, then Perk's looking sideways.
We've been asking that. We've been saying that.